Have you ever found yourself staring at your calendar, wondering how you'll squeeze in just one more thing? I've been there, y'all, juggling work deadlines, social obligations, and trying to carve out time for the things that I do just for me. Last week, I was trying to do one of my favorite hobbies, but after a day full of meetings and personal commitments, I found myself falling asleep on top of my Legos. That experience got me thinking, how do we make time for growth in our already packed lives? Your hobbies and deep interests are powerful. We just have to figure out how to explore them without feeling overwhelmed.
Powerful. Few things are as powerful. Few things are as powerful as love.
What is going on, beautiful people? You are listening to the Affirmations for Black Girls podcast, where we focus on personal growth and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. I am your host, Tyra, the creative actress, content creator, and mental health enthusiast. And I just got to say, I have not been making time for the things I love lately. I would say, like, over the last couple of weeks, I've been really like tunnel vision on all of the important things in life, like my career, and just making sure that I am doing the things that I need to do to further myself while living out here in LA. So, we're going to dive all into how to actually make time for your hobbies and the things that you love in life. But before we do, let's jump into our affirmation for the week. This week's affirmation is I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. Let's go ahead and drop in, you guys. I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. What does that growth look like for you? What does joy feel like for you? How can you create that space in your busy life? I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. Let's say it one last time together. I create space for growth and joy in my busy life. Oh Lord, you guys, I really need to hear that right now because the way that life is going for your girl, I haven't really been finding much time for my hobbies, and I kind of feel like I need a redirect right now. So this episode is, well, every episode be like this, but this episode is just as much for me as it is for you. Um, so we're gonna dive into how we can make more time for the things we love outside of our careers as fully functioning adults. So let's go ahead and dive in. Once again, you guys, hello. We are doing video episodes now on the podcast. If you are listening on your favorite listening platform for podcasts, feel free to continue listening there, but you can also watch the full episodes over on the YouTube channel. And if you are watching on the YouTube channel right now, hello. I'm so glad to see each and every one of y'all. Do you like my outfit? I actually went to an event today and I wore this outfit and I got so many compliments. I had on like pizza earrings because it's about to be pizza week on Taste Made. So I went to a pizza making class and they were like, you are completely on brand. And I was like, you should not expect anything less from Tyra. I am always on brand, okay? So I'm still trying to get used to these video episodes and I just like have my notes with me. I don't I was nervous about doing video episodes because I do read off my notes. So we still learning and we still growing, you guys. So our first topic today is about discovering the power of your hobbies and how hobbies contribute to your personal development. So my personal hobbies have really impacted my mental health and my creativity as of late. As you guys know, I went through a pretty bad breakup. Like 2 years ago almost? It'll be like 2 years in December. And by bad, I just mean the break between us was clean, but the aftermath for me and the grieving process for me was pretty bad after that. It took a lot out of me. So I fell into my hobbies. As you guys know, I started doing pottery. I started boxing again. I originally started boxing in 2020 and then I let it go because I moved away. And then a new boxing gym opened up close to my new apartment. And I was like, okay, I might want to get back into this. So I did. So through those hobbies, I was able to find healing and I was also able to find a routine that helped me not think about all of the heavy things at every point of the day. It helped me to start compartmentalizing that grief and being able to still be a fully functioning adult while grieving. Because I know when I was going through a breakup in the past, and for me, I'm a very emotional person, and my emotions can sometimes paralyze me. And what I mean by that is when I'm feeling really, really down, I don't want to do anything. So, having those hobbies or those commitments outside of work, things that don't really take up too much brain space, were very helpful and key in my healing process. And as you guys also know, I'm living out in LA. And living out in LA, trying to do the hustle and grind, and I don't even like to say the hustle and grind because I'm not trying to hustle and I'm not trying to grind. I'm not team no sleep. But just the idea of building a life from scratch out in LA when my family is so far away and my support system is so far away, it is very taxing on you. And those hobbies really helped me to center myself, ground myself, put down roots, and experience like regular people life because LA, like people say this all the time, but LA is not a real place. And by that, they mean like LA is very, or it can be very fake, very materialistic. And I can definitely agree with that to a certain extent. But my hobbies were my safe place. My hobbies really grounded me and helped keep me sane. They still help keep me sane. And I wish I would have started them earlier, but everything happens for a reason. But I started really diving deeper into hobbies at the top of this year, I want to say, like multiples of hobbies. And it's just really kept me sane. So, how can engaging in your hobbies boost your mood and your productivity? Do you have hobbies? What things do you do in your life outside of work that are mood boosting? I know some people really love their job. At the end of the day, a job is a job. Okay, I do love what I do, but I need things outside of that. I need some sort of escape from the mental like the mental baggage of having a job. And that's what my hobbies are for me. I have a plethora of hobbies, but my two biggest ones right now are definitely pottery and boxing. And you guys hear me talk about that all the time. But I just love going into my pottery studio, throwing a piece, glazing it, firing it, and coming home with something that looks super cute. I'm gonna have to show y'all my pottery one day since we do video podcasts now. I'm so excited about that. But um, it boosts my mood because I have a task at hand that I'm just doing for fun. I'm not doing for a grade, not for money, not to be critiqued, nothing. I'm just making something with my hands and I have a finished product and it's so rewarding. Boxing, on the other hand, is a huge stress relief and it is good for exercising. Like I'm losing weight, I'm feeling good, my body is moving, my blood is pumping. So, what things in your life, at hobby wise or anything really, what things in your life are you doing to boost your mood on a weekly basis? So I read this statistic A 2024 survey by the National Institute of Mental Health found that 62% of participants who regularly engaged in hobbies reported feeling significantly less stressed and had better emotional regulation compared to those who did not participate in leisure activities. Key thing here, leisure activities. When I first moved out to LA, y'all, all I did was work because I had to. All I did was try to figure out how to make a buck because I had to. I had to survive. LA is not an easy place to live. And yes, some people can say, girl, well, you ain't got to be there. I know I don't have to be there, but I want to be here. I want to build my acting career. I want to do those things. And in order to do those things, I have to make ends meet. And that's what I did. But the one thing that I was not doing, and my friend Alexis used to get on me about this all the time when I first moved out here, I didn't do anything fun, and I'm using air quotes for fun because I fully thought that I was like literally, y'all. I was so tunnel visioned in what I was doing. Like out here in LA, I was working brand ambassador jobs. I was auditioning. I was living in an apartment with my boyfriend at the time, taking care of both of us. And I did not have the capacity to think about leisurely things. I didn't go shopping. I never really went out to eat. I was always cooking at home. I didn't have a car, so I didn't even like just take a drive, a scenic drive down the PCH, like the Pacific Coast Highway. I was literally just surviving. And here's the thing that I want to say about that. There is, or there can be a time in your life where that is what you need to do. But I'm so glad that I'm out of that phase of my living in LA experience because my hobbies are my safe place. The leisurely activity, I'm about to cry. Oh God. I'm feeling so emotional right now and I really don't know why, but my hobbies are really my safe place. I don't if somebody said to me today, Tyra, you cannot do pottery no more. Tyra, you cannot go to your boxing gym no more. I would bawl my eyes out because it is literally the glue that is holding my life together right now. And we can dive into that in another episode, but doing hobbies are such a cathartic experience and doing leisurely things like taking a walk in the park or just sitting in the park, people watching, going out for ice cream, watching a movie, gardening, like things outside of making money or things outside of doing things because you have to, like a career or like school and all of that, doing things just because you want to and they bring you joy. I could not live life without it anymore. Now that I've experienced it, I'm living a much more well-rounded and fulfilled life. So I guess the question then, if you're like, okay, well, how can I get in on this? Is how do I pick hobbies that can fit in with my lifestyle and my schedule and my interests? How can I do it with time constraints on my life? Honestly, y'all, you just gotta do it. Figure out what you like. Try something new. Like what piques your interest, right? Like when I started pottery, this interest in pottery started way back when I was 7 years old. I don't even know if it was seven, but I'm thinking it was seven. I asked my mama for Christmas for a pottery wheel, and I thought it was the most amazing thing. And then that pottery wheel broke. I did not pick up pottery again until the top of last year. And that 7 year old Tyra was so happy. So think about the things that you were interested in when you were a child. That's really where I start with everything. As far as boxing goes, in 2020 when I started boxing, I happened to see an ad on Facebook and it piqued my interest. I saw an ad on Facebook for Mayweather Boxing Gym and they were doing a like a promotion or something like 1 month for $50 or something like that. And I was like, "Oh shoot, let me try boxing." And I requested more information, and whoever called me from the gym really made me super excited about boxing. So I went to a class and I actually loved it. I didn't know anything about boxing, but I fell in love with it from that first class. It was hard, but I was excited to get better and learn more about the art of boxing. So I wrote down some tips on how to choose hobbies if it is something that's super hard for you. Um, you can do a lot of different things. So, identify what you enjoy, like what we just talked about. What are some things um, that bring you joy, or even brought out curiosity in you? What types of questions do you ask, like shower thoughts, or when you're just driving, like, I wonder how tomatoes grow. Maybe you want to go uh gardening or go to a tomato field or something like that, right? And then evaluate your skills. This is a great one because you could have some skills that you may be a beginner at, but it's something that you're interested in fine tuning. The only reason I went to culinary school, y'all, is because I my daddy piqued an interest in me in baking. And by the time I made it to high school, I was making special occasion cakes for people, but I didn't quite know how to do it right in my mind. So I went to culinary school. And that honestly was a hobby because I don't do that professionally. I literally just, when I went after I graduated from college, I was like, I literally just want to learn how to do this. Um, and consider your time constraints. And what I mean by that is if you have a very demanding job and you're like, okay, I really do not have the mental capacity to pick up a hobby that would require like 50 hours a week, that's crazy. But if you don't have that much time, think about it and start small. So choose a hobby that requires minimal time commitment, like reading or sketching or even journaling. And this makes it easier to integrate those hobbies into your daily life. And on the flip side of that, think about downtime. What is your downtime throughout the day? What time do you spend doom scrolling? Y'all, I have been in a doom scroll habit, and it's so hard for me because I will wake up in the morning and I will doom scroll. And that has just never been me. And I'm really trying to get to the bottom of why I've started doom scrolling. I literally was doing that before I started this episode. So think about all of that downtime that you have and what you're doing with it. And think about how you can put those hobbies into that downtime. Like, for example, I also love doing Legos. Normally at the end of the night, after I eat dinner, I just sit on the sofa twiddling my thumbs and watching YouTube videos. I could be building Legos while I'm watching YouTube videos instead of just twiddling my thumbs, because Lego doing Legos is cathartic for me and it relaxes me, and that downtime is gold time that I can use to do something else that I love. And then at the end of it, I have a little Lego set that's already built. And you could also make use of available resources to find hobbies that fit your lifestyle, because I'm not saying that you have to know exactly what you're going to be interested in from the jump. Try different things, y'all. Um, there's all types of online platforms, like obviously YouTube. If you're watching, you're already on YouTube watching, but there's also platforms like Skillshare or Coursera where you can learn different skills. I have a class on my Skillshare that I literally cannot wait to watch while I'm on the plane on the way to Thailand. I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. And literally, it's about illustrating a children's book, because I want to write a children's book one day. That is just a goal that I have. And taking that time to take that course on Skillshare may open my eyes up to different things that I could be interested in that I may not have thought about. I know specifically with that course, they are showing you how to illustrate with Procreate. That could lead me down a whole rabbit hole of things. I also have that just reminded me, I have a course saved with Procreate, and then they teach you how to animate with Procreate. So there's just so many avenues that you can take. And the good thing about it is you could do the course and you can leave it at that for however long. I am a firm believer in doing the thing and then putting it away if I feel like moving on to something else, and then coming back to it when it's relevant again in my life. Just because it's a hobby doesn't mean you have to do it every week, every month. You don't even have to do it every single year. I hadn't done pottery since I was 7. I picked it back up in 2022, and I was gold, baby. Like, that's what I mean by that. You could also start going to local community events like workshops. Many communities offer free or low cost classes where you can experiment with a new activity. we just had a flower building workshop with the wonderful Jada Toledo for Affirmations for Black Girls. If you attended, by the way, thank you so much. We had such an amazing time. And if you could not make it, be on the lookout. There will be more events just like that, virtually and in person. We're gearing up for our first in person event. But, anyways, we were talking through that because our theme for the month of August is continuing learning as an adult. And Jada, she was telling us that she was going to take, like, next week or so at the time when we talked about it, she was going to take a course, for a flower building workshop. So, learning more about florals and doing more creative um, bouquets and centerpieces. Her community offers that course, and it was always presented to like seniors, but it's open to anyone in the community who wants to do it. And I can't remember if it was free or low cost, but I know it was. She was like, oh yes, I definitely have to secure my spot. And I was like, that is so dope. I actually get something in the mail as well, and you guys probably do too. I know out here in LA, they sent out a summer and fall community event. Ooh, hit my mic. A summer and fall community event calendar where you can take free and low cost classes, and that's a great way as well. You can also integrate hobbies into your existing routines by combining activities, like if you listen to audiobooks while you're exercising, or practice mindfulness during your commute to work, or listen to the Affirmations of Black Girls podcast on a walk or during your commute to work. And set specific times, like allocating specific times of your week for your hobbies, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. Scheduling helps make these hobbies a regular part of your life. And I think the biggest thing is to be open to change. Allow yourself to change your hobbies if you find that one isn't fitting into your life as you had hoped for, or if you're like, okay, this is actually becoming stressful and it's not fun anymore. Go ahead and put it down for a little while, table it for a little while. It's okay to experiment and adjust your choices based on what feels right for you. There's no right and wrong in the hobby space, and adjust if needed. A hobby if it becomes girl, I'm reading my notes, Jesus. If it becomes too time consuming or stressful, reassess and modify how you engage with it to better fit your lifestyle, because our life is always changing and our hobbies can change as well. We are creative and curious beings, so that's okay. So some examples of hobbies, I know, like, especially in my family, when I ask like what your hobbies are to the older people in my family, they kind of don't really have hobbies. And it may be because they actually don't have hobbies, or maybe they don't consider them hobbies. So if you are a person who is like, okay, I don't really know where I want to do, I don't know where to start, here's a list of hobbies: gardening, puzzling, Legos, like me, cooking new recipes. I have been loving this lately. I've been cooking a lot of recipes from home since I don't live at home anymore, and I'll make a whole thing out of it. I live alone, so I will go and grab all the ingredients. I will pop open a bottle of wine or a new fun drinkity drink that I found at the store, and I will turn on my home vibes playlist, and I will just be in here jamming and making good food and pouring love into myself and spending time with myself. Journaling. There's also like free ones like bird watching. I mean, people be spending a lot when they have like a real bird watching hobby. Like, I know some of y'all have seen those people, like they get the binoculars and like all of the stuff. But you can actually do a lot of these hobbies for the free, like bird watching, yoga, knitting, listening to podcasts, origami, calligraphy, photography, pottery, learning new languages. As you guys know, I have used both Duolingo and Babbel. Babbel actually sponsored our podcast a while back. But learning a new language, I'm currently learning Italian. DIY crafts, meditation is also a hobby. Volunteering locally at like shelters or with kids. Reading fiction and playing a musical instrument. Now, remember I told you guys that I was going to learn the recorder? Okay, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, look, y'all, I actually went and picked up the recorder, and I have been learning how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. So, in honor of our continuing learning as an adult theme for August, I'm going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on my recorder. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now, it's not gonna be that great. Wait, I'm too close to the mic. Hold on. Oh Lord, wait, wait. Please, as white as snow. Anyways, you guys, I have been having a great time learning how to play the recorder, and I need to get a book because learning it and then just like doing it from memory is pretty hard. Um, but I say all that to say, learn your hobbies. Like, not learn your hobbies, do more things that bring you joy. You can also join platforms like Meetup or other hobby specific platforms. I've never actually been to a Meetup, but it's a dope app where you can like join like Rock Lovers Club, Pizza Making Club, like all of these very niche things. And I think it's very good if you just want to see what's out there. And I'm also a huge proponent in if it's not out there, build it yourself. And I know that can be very daunting, but I plan on starting my own cookbook club. And it's because I want to do it one the way I want to do it. I'm a very type A person in that way, but I really want it to be women who love the art of baking. And I just kind of want to do it with my friends. So, what hobbies do you want to add to your lifestyle?
Hey, you're on my mind, you know. Da-da-da-da-da.
So there are a lot of hobbies out there that are great for personal development, right? So I wrote down some tips for developing a personal growth plan for yourself. So number one would be to define your goals. Define your personal versus your professional goals. So what are your personal aspirations and like things like your health, what hobbies you want to engage in, relationships, like I want to improve my fitness levels or I want to learn a new skill. And then professional goals are what are your career objectives? Like I want a promotion, I want to learn new skills at work, projects and all of that type of stuff. But today we are going to dive deeper into the actual personal portion of that, but define what goals are which because they are different. And we want to make sure that those personal goals and those personal hobbies are leisurely things that you do not attach to your status at work. So you can do that by using SMART goals. I actually just learned what SMART goals are, and SMART is actually an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So, specifically, what exactly do you want to achieve for this goal? An example would be a 5K, run a 5K in under 30 minutes. How measurable? How would you measure progress and success in this way? You could track your running distance and your times weekly. The next letter A is for achievable. Is this goal realistic given your current resources and your constraints, whether that's your time constraints or anything in life that is an obstacle for you? An example is yes, it you can do this with you can run this 5K with a 3-month training plan. The next one is R, relevant. How does this goal align with your overall aspirations? And then we throw it back to that personal goal of improving fitness and health. And then the T stands for time bound. What is your deadline for achieving this goal? And an example of that is I want to run this 5K in under 30 minutes by December 31st. I personally take it even a step further. If it's a big goal like this, right? I personally take it a step further, and I actually just talked to my best friend Bria about this, and she was like, "Girl, I'm gonna have to let you know because I really don't know." But I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes, but I want to do it in another country. I know there are all types of marathons and races in a lot of European countries. I watch a lot of Kara and Nate on YouTube, and they're always doing these crazy challenges. And a lot of them are in Europe, and they're always like runs or walks and things of that nature. So I want to run this 5K in under 30 minutes in London next year. So that is also a rewarding experience because you have something to look forward to that will also just be for fun. Like I love to really add to that leisurely aspect because we live in a time where our careers are so like time dominant. We rarely leave time for ourselves to do anything else. And I'm so sick and tired of living like that, y'all. I really am. So, once you set your SMART goals, you can break down your goals into those actionable steps. So, action steps for your personal goals can look like 3 to 5 specific actions needed to reach this goal. Like, okay, number 1, join a local rum club. 2, follow a training schedule. And 3, track the progress with a fitness app. Then you identify your resources and support. So, what tools, resources, or support do you need for running? I need running shoes. I may need a fitness app. I may need motivational videos and motivational music. One of my favorite artists for motivational stuff, his name is Billy, and what is it? He's like welcome to the grind, Billy Osborne, and it's just like motivational speak rap, and it get me right every single time. After you've identified your resources, set your goals and your deadlines. So set short-term milestones to track your progress, like completing your first month of a training program and then celebrating that small win. And once you have had time to like start working towards this goal, create a review and adjustment plan. So when and how often will you review your progress? Maybe you'll do monthly progress reviews. If it's something that won't take 3 months, maybe you're doing weekly progress reviews, right? And then reflect and celebrate on your success. What did you learn from this process? What is your takeaway? How much joy did it bring to your life? What experiences did you have? All of the above, right? And then celebrate it. How are you rewarding yourself for achieving this personal milestone? Because it's literally something that you just set your mind to and then you did it. It's not something that you did for a promotion. It's not something that you did for work. It's not something that you did because you had to. It's something you did because you wanted to, and it's a leisurely thing. For example, that trip to London, if I run a 5K, that is how I'm rewarding myself. After the run is over, I'm going to get some fish and chips with some malt vinegar at a local pub, right? How are you going to reward yourself? Always celebrate those super small wins. And another step to that is making sure that you are overcoming the overwhelm of, okay, I'm not on schedule, or okay, this isn't going as I had planned, or dang, I'm actually not as good at this as I thought I would be by this time. Y'all, I'm gonna just say it point blank period. It's not really about how good you are at your hobbies. It's about enjoying it. It's about adding things to your life that reduce stress and increase your overall um life satisfactory score. Like I know that's like a thing that people measure sometimes, but it's just supposed to add more happiness to your life, right? So, I am in a space in my life where I am feeling a little overwhelmed, and I was just talking to a friend today, and I was just like, I'm feeling yucky. Like I'm really feeling yucky because I'm not where I want to be in life. And I'm talking more so career stuff in that regard. But regardless of why you're feeling overwhelmed, there are some strategies for managing feelings of overwhelm and avoiding burnout. And one of my tried and true tools that I have talked about on this podcast 700 times, they need to sponsor this podcast at this point, is the Calm app. Y'all love this thing. I go to sleep to their sleep stories. I listen to their meditations. I listen to them while I'm on a plane to combat my in flight anxiety. That app has changed my entire life. Um, I always put it in the show notes to for you to get a free trial. So go down and click on that if you are looking for something to help you with overwhelm with overwhelm, I personally recommend the sleep stories every single time. They are tried and true. I listen to the children's ones, but they do have some that are like more for adults. If you don't want to listen to like Peppa Pig, I love the Peppa Pig story, but there's also Headspace, and there's Christian ones that are more like Christian meditation apps like Abide. That one's cool, but it just feels very stuffy for me. I love that Calm has so many different options. So that is a few things on how to integrate your hobbies into your life. So, how do we balance work, life, and continuing our educational journey through the world of hobbies? There are a couple of techniques that I have talked about on the podcast before for productivity, and I think they fit very well here as well. So, the first one is um, the Pomodoro technique. And this is a time management method where you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break, repeating this cycle to boost your focus and your productivity. Now, this will come in handy if you are doing like a Skillshare course or something like that as a hobby. I feel like whenever I'm doing my hobbies, especially if it's something more education based, I can try to cram and I don't retain information that way. But using the Pomodoro method, I can take that 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, and I don't have to feel stressed or feel like I have to be rushed to finish my Skillshare course because I've already taken the time to make a plan or a calendar for me to do my hobbies. Now, there's another method that is a little easier and it doesn't require you looking back and forth at a timer, but it's called time blocking. And this is when you use a schedule, Jesus, tongue twister. This is where you schedule specific blocks of time for different tasks or activities throughout your day to organize and prioritize your work effectively. So, for example, if one of my hobbies is gardening and it is springtime, I'm going to need to block out some time to go out there in the early morning to water all my plants, prune them, maybe harvest some things that have already fruited. All of that stuff takes time, and I don't want to rush through it because, oh yeah, I have a work meeting, and oh yeah, I have this project due, and oh yeah, I have to run this errand. I really want to block out that time so I can have that moment to really be fully immersed in the hobby or the activity at hand. And also set realistic goals, y'all. Like, a lot of times I don't set realistic goals, even when it comes to my hobbies. Like, especially during the holiday season, I really pick up a lot of work with um, pottery and creating content. As you guys know, I'm a pastry chef and I'm creating all of this content, and my hobbies can get away from me. And one thing that I absolutely love to do, especially for uh, the holiday season, is give handmade gifts. And side note, y'all, I'm currently making my own vanilla extract. I'm so excited. I'm actually posting a video on my Instagram soon, but I'm making my own vanilla extract and it's going to be gifts for the holidays. So if you're looking for homemade gifts, that's an idea. But anyways, I find myself trying to cram in hours and hours and hours at my pottery studio like 3 weeks before Christmas, right? So I can get all of these projects out. And that's just not a healthy habit to have. So set those realistic goals. Think about achievable goals for your personal and leisurely activities and what you can actually do. Again, like we said, use those SMART goals because they are a framework for setting clear and achievable objectives. So remember, specific, clearly define what you want to accomplish. Measurable, include the criteria to track your progress. Achievable, ensure the goal is realistic and attainable. Relevant, align with your broader objectives or purposes. And time, set a deadline for when you want to achieve it. I love setting the time and then working my way backwards with where I'm at, right? So think about it in that way. Make sure that you're setting realistic goals for whatever um, either action based or competition based hobbies you have. And if it's just leisurely, just make sure that you're blocking out time so you can really sit in that hobby and experience joy in something you love outside of work, outside of obligation, right? So set those realistic goals and enjoy your hobbies. Finding time for personal growth amidst a busy schedule might seem like a juggling act, but it's all about making those intentional choices. Hobbies are such a powerful thing. Embrace the power of your hobbies and your interests. They're not just pastimes, but valuable parts of your self care, development, and your sanity. As you move through your week, I challenge you to create space for the activities that light you up and make a conscious effort to integrate them into your routine. Remember, progress is made in those small, consistent steps. So take a moment to reflect on how you can better balance your passions with your daily life and celebrate the little victories along the way. Y'all, you know what time it is. It is time for our fun closing segment. And today we're doing something that is a little different. It's actually super fun. We about to play One Gotta Go. All right. Now, this game is where I have a group of things and one of the things gotta go. So I really want you guys to play along with me. We have four, I think, on this list. We have four things, and I was trying to look at them all ahead of time. But one of them gotta go. Let's jump into the first one. Oh, we y'all, we hitting the ground hard. Okay, one gotta go. The Stevie Wonder Happy Birthday song or the new one? And the new one is that I wanna say happy birthday to you. One gotta go. Hmm. Here's the thing. Everybody gonna try to beat me up if I say Stevie Wonder gotta go. So the new birthday song gotta go. But I actually love the new birthday song and I just be singing it in the shower. Like it's so catchy. And if you have never heard it, it literally goes, I wanna sing happy. I can't sing, but birthday to you. Now close your eyes and make a wish. Take a second and blow out your candle. Close your eyes. Y'all gotta listen to it. Y'all gotta listen to it because I'm not doing it justice. But it's very catchy and I love it. And you already know, like, somebody with a lot of sugar and spice and everything nice, that seasoning made that up. I just love my people. Black people are just so creative, and that song is so great. I think Stevie Wonder's is a classic, and we cannot like kind of like how we do the regular happy birthday song and then sing Stevie Wonder. I think what should happen is we only sing the Stevie Wonder song first and then we go into that new happy birthday song. That's the vibe that is given. But if one of them gotta go, the new birthday song gotta go. It's over with. Okay, next. I'm weak. One gotta go. Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, or Toy Story. Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick. The Incredibles gotta go. And here's why I say that. There's I love Monsters Inc. I love it. I love Finding Nemo and I love Toy Story. The Incredibles, I couldn't really get jiggy with it all the way. I watched the first one, but I went to see the second one in theaters, I think, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep. But them other ones, I'm watching Mike Wazowski, Sully, they my ninjas, okay? Finding Nemo, Dory, okay, I watched Finding Dory, all of that stuff. Toy Story, I've watched all the Toy Stories. All the Toy Stories are good. They ain't going nowhere. Andy's coming. I'm okay, like don't play with me. So I would say The Incredibles gotta go. Okay, the next one. Fried chicken, fried fish, fried shrimp, or French fries. Baby, fried fish, fried chicken, fried shrimp, or French fries. Now, see, this is the devil's work because I'm not about to choose out of this. I can't because you asking me, you basically asking me to like kill a family member. That's what this is. That's what this is giving. Fried chicken gotta go. Fried fish, fried shrimp, or French fries gotta go. Dang, y'all. They all good in their own right. Okay, if I had to pick one, I can eat shrimp a lot of different ways. I love fried fish and I love fried chicken. I can eat that a lot of different ways too, but I just had fried chicken today and I'm black, so don't play with me. And French fries, absolutely not. Like that's too much of a category to let go. So I would have to say fried shrimp because I can still eat shrimp any other way. And the last one, you can only visit one place for the rest of your life. Which one gotta go? Beach or mountains? Ooh, I would say the beach gotta go. And I can say that confidently because I don't like getting in the water. The ocean is a scary place. It got a lot of stuff in there that we don't know nothing about. So the beach gotta go. The mountains though, me and my family went to the Smoky Mountains and it was a beautiful experience. I can see myself having like a getaway home in the mountains. Like I love that lifestyle. So I don't think, yeah, the beach gotta go. And that's just it. So if you feel strongly about any of these one gotta goes, please send us a DM, send us an email, something. Let me know your thoughts. If you think that I picked the wrong answer, let me know your thoughts. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And that's really all that I have for you guys today. Please make sure that you are doing hobbies and doing things that you love because that's really important, especially in this day and age. Like, every people's careers and making money and achieving fame and all of this stuff has gained so much notoriety and so much, like, it holds so much weight in our day to day, and it's just time to engage in leisurely things again. And I don't know about you, but that has definitely been my experience. Like, people are all work no play, even sayings like that, all work no play. That's an issue. We're supposed to do leisurely things. We're supposed to find joy in things that we are just doing just for the hell of it. So, find a new hobby, rediscover old hobbies, do something to make yourself laugh, do something that brings you joy, experience something new. And that's really all I have for you. So, thank you guys so much for listening. I will see you guys again next week. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Leave us a comment down below. Leave us a review of the podcast. I also love reading all of you guys' reviews. And yeah, I'll see you guys again next week. This is Affirmations for Black Girls.